Good morning, students. Last class I took some demo class for you in law of motion. I think you have attended that demo class last week. Did you attend the demo class last week? Okay. Let us start the new topic today, gravitation. Okay, right. Kindly take the notes. First, let us discuss about the phenomenal concept involved in the gravitation. What is known as gravitation and gravity? Just a minute. Sorry. Gravitation is the force of attraction between any two bodies in the universe. Gravitation is the force of attraction between any two bodies in the universe. Whereas gravity is the force of attraction between the earth and the body which is lying on the surface of the earth or outside the surface. Understand? There is a basic, the fundamental difference between the gravitation and gravity. See, take down this. It is a force of attraction between the two bodies in the universe. Gravity is a force of attraction between the earth and the body which is lying on the surface of it. Lying on the surface of it or above the surface. Understand? Gravitation is the force of attraction between the two bodies in the universe, whereas gravity is the force of attraction between the earth and the body lying on the surface or above the surface. The gravitation and the gravity are governed by Newton's law of gravitation. Newton's law of gravitation. Newton's law of gravitation. According to the Newton's law of gravitation, according to the Newton's law of gravitation, everybody in the universe attracts everybody with a force which is directly proportional to the mass of the two bodies and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two bodies. Universal இருக்கிற ரெண்டு பாடிக்கு இடையில இருக்கிற force of attraction தான் இதுல கால்குலேட் பண்றோம். Law of gravitation. The law of gravitation is used to find out the force of attraction between any two bodies in the universe. According to the law of gravitation, everybody in the universe attract everybody with a force which is directly proportional to the product of mass of the two bodies and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two bodies. I write the definition. Which is directly proportional, which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the this is the state of Newton's law of gravitation. Consider two bodies. Consider two bodies, say M1, M2, in the universe. Connect the two body by a straight line. The distance between the two bodies is r. Consider the body 1. It will be attracted towards M2. Consider the body M2. It will be attracted towards M1. Say this one, 2, 1. The body 1 is attracted by the body 2. This is the force, and the body 2 is attracted. 1, 2. The body 1 is attracted by the body 2. Body 2 is attracted by the body 1. It's an attractive force. It's not a repulsive force. Okay, now. See, according to the Newton's law of gravity, the force of attraction between the two bodies is directly proportional to the product of their mass and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two masses. That is a mathematical statement. Combining these two, it will be m1, m2 divided by r squared. Now, K is the constant of proportionality. In this case, we are introducing the term G, gravitational constant, M1, M2 divided by R squared. G is the constant of proportionality. G is the constant of proportionality or universal gravitational constant. It will be same for any body in the universe. G is universal gravitational constant. Actually, it is called universal law. It is called a universal law. The Newton's law of gravitation is called a universal law. Have you finished this portion? Shall we move? Shall we? Can I move the screen upward? G is the scalar quantity, not a force. The G, I'm talking about the G, constant. You have to remember this constant value, which is very useful to solve the problems. 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter squared kg power minus 2. This is the unit of this. So in this case, F12 is equal to minus 1. Why here is the negative sign? As per sign convention, we are taking in this direction positive, no? Negative. Here F12 is acting positive direction. F21 is negative direction. Therefore, the sign convention F12 is equal to minus F21. You have to memorize this constant 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter squared kg power minus 2. What is the unit of this gravitational force Newton? Unit of force here Newton. Suppose if you forget this the unit of G, how to calculate the unit of G? Consider G cross multiplying F and R squared and the denominator M1, M2. Now substitute the units here. Force is Newton, distance is meter per square, and the kg into kg. Therefore, it becomes Newton meter squared. Kg squared means kg minus 2. This is the method of arriving this fundamental units. Understand, Thambi? Okay, shall we move? See how to get the fundamental dimension. N meter squared, kg squared. See, Newton means what? Mass into acceleration. Mass into acceleration. That is a force unit. For mass, fundamental dimension m. Acceleration meter per second square. Kg meter per second square. For meter, it is a length. For time, t square. Therefore, whenever the force is coming, you have to write ml t minus 2. That is the fundamental dimension of force. Now substitute over here for n mass into acceleration, and for m squared L squared, for kg squared m squared. M squared get cancelled. Therefore, m minus 1. Already here L and L squared, L cube, t minus 2. This is the fundamental dimension for gravitational constant. That is a universal gravitational constant. This is a method of arriving the fundamental dimension. You have to remember always the force is equal to mass into acceleration. For force or for Newton, the fundamental dimension is ml t power minus 2. ml t power minus 2. Okay. Now, I'll give some important note about this gravitational force. Can you note down this? Do you know the conservative force and the non-conservative force? The conservative force is the force which is depends upon the initial and final condition. Whereas non-conservative force is the force which is depends upon the path, depends upon the path. Therefore, conservative force is not depends upon the path. Non-conservative force is the force which depends upon the gravitational force is depends upon the non-conservative force. That is very important. It is always attractive nature. It obeys inverse square law. Another important point, it is independent of the intervening medium. Whether the medium is prevailing or not, its value does not change. Therefore, the force of attraction is independent of the mass. Sorry, independent of the medium. It is independent of the size and nature. It is independent of the size and the nature. Hello, I made a mistake actually while explaining this. Very sorry. You see the first point, gravitational force is conservative. It is depends upon the initial and final condition. It's not depends upon the path. Gravitational force is the conservative force. Kindly correct it. Non-conservative force, example, frictional force, viscous force, pressure force are example of non-conservative force. I repeat once again, conservative force is not depends upon the path. It is depends upon the initial and final condition. Whereas non-conservative force is depends upon the path. Okay. Now, consider a mass in the universe. This is a reference mass. Let it be say O. Here, another mass 1. So many masses are there in the universe. Each mass exert an attractive force to the other mass. I'm going to calculate the force exerted the mass O by the all masses. The total force exerted by the all masses on the reference mass. For this, we are using the principle of superposition. Principle of superposition. It states that the resultant The resultant force acting on a particle. The resultant force acting on a particle due to the other particles is equal to the vector sum of gravitational force exerted by the individual particle. I repeat once again, it states that the resultant force acting on a particle due to the other particle is equal to the vector sum of gravitational force exerted by the individual particle. For mathematically, it can be written as resultant force is to understand this concept. Listen here, students. Listen here. I'm taking in the solar. There are so many masses revolving. I am taking this object. The object is O. This object, towards this object, force will be exerted on it. Several forces will be exerted on it. We have to calculate the total force exerted by all the masses toward the reference mass, say O. எல்லா மாஸ்ல இருந்தும் ஓக்கு மேல எவ்வளவு force of attraction இருக்கு டோட்டலா கால்குலேட் பண்றோம். That is why it is called the resultant force. The resultant force is the summation of force between the two bodies. Say either 0, 1. இப்போ இது கடையில இருக்க force, அதே மாதிரி இது கடையில இருக்க force, இது கடையில எல்லாத்தையும் ஆட் பண்ணா we can get the resultant force. That is a concept. Before solving the Neet problem, to understand this Newton's law of gravitational force concept, let us solve a simple problem. Let us solve a simple problem. Can I move? Actually, any one of the students can represent. One student can represent when I am asking. Is there any? Only one student. Always. Can I move? That is why I am asking whether you have written or not, to know that. Kindly always speak one student. That is enough. Resultant force is the total force exerted by all the masses on the reference mass. I'm taking the reference mass, say O. Okay. Now we are going to solve the one problems. Can I move, please, student? Can I move the screen further?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Students, see this problem. A solid sphere of radius r gravitationally attracts a particle placed at 2r from its center with the force F1. Now, the spherical cavity of radius r by 2 is made in the sphere as shown in figure. The force becomes F2. Calculate F2 by F1. I will draw the diagram for this problem. Actually, the problem is the diagram is given. What happened? Students, are you there? The link is disconnected. This is the diagram given. Now see the problem. A solid sphere of radius r gravitationally attracts a particle placed at 2r from its center with the force F1. First, ஒரு solid sphere இருக்கு. அதான் solid sphere which is at a distance 2r from the particle. இங்க ஒரு particle which is at a distance 2r. அப்போ இது ஒரு solid sphere. Another one இங்க ஒரு particle. Both are attracted by a gravitational force. The distance between the solid sphere and the particle is 2r. The force between the two particles, sphere and the particle, is F1. Now, a spherical cavity of radius r by 2 is made in the sphere. And the force becomes F2. Calculate the ratio. Some typical question is this. Actually, அதோ ஸ்பியர் இருக்கு, இங்க ஒரு பார்ட்டிகல் இருக்கு, ரெண்டுக்கு இடையில ஒரு ஃபோர்ஸ் இருக்கு. அந்த ஃபோர்ஸ் தான் F1. ரெண்டு ஃபோர்ஸுக்கு இடையில இருக்க டிஸ்டன்ஸ் 2r. இப்ப என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா, அந்த ஸ்பியர்ல ஒரு கேவிட்டிய பண்றாங்க. அப்போ the mass is actually removed. Mass is actually removed. இப்போ after removing the mass, what would be the force of attraction between the new mass and the particle? After removing the mass and producing the cavity in the solid sphere, the force is F2. For first case, F1 calculate. Second case, F2 calculate. The question is find out the ratio of F2 divided by F1. That is a concept. How to approach this problem? The problem relates the Newton law of gravitational force. Number first case la cavity illama paakanum, second case la cavity oda paakanum. Okay, now first case case 1, the force of attraction between the solid sphere and the particle which is placed at the distance 2r. Use the formula, that is என்ன formula use பண்ணணும்? Newton's law of gravity. G m1 m2 இருக்கும். What is the m here? Capital M. That is the mass of the sphere. Another mass is the particle which is placed at a distance 2r. According to the equation, G m1 m2 divided by r squared. Here, what is the r squared value? Formula நாங்க எழுதுறேன். Formula என்னங்க? F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by r squared. இதைத்தான் இங்க யூஸ் பண்ண போறோம். G அப்படியே போட்டுக்கோங்க. m1 னா capital M, m2 small m. Distance between the two masses is 2r. So r squared means 2r squared. It becomes what? Capital G, capital M, small m, 4r squared. Understand? So how to find out the F2? How to find out the F2? The logic is assuming the removed mass. Removed mass na or cavity. அதுவும் ஸ்பியர் மாதிரி தான் உள்ள இருந்து எடுக்கிறாங்க. அப்படி எடுக்கிறாங்க. நீங்க அதை என்ன பண்ணணும்னா அதை மட்டும் இருக்கிறது மாதிரி நினைச்சுக்கோ. What is the force between the cavity and the particle? அது ஒரு மாஸ் மாதிரி நினைச்சுக்கோ. தனியா அது. அதனுடைய மாஸ் என்ன? இப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்ணணும். இதுல ரொம்ப முக்கியமா என்ன சொல்றோம்னா சாலிட் ஸ்பியரோடைய மாஸ் எவ்வளவு? கேபிட்டல் M. The spherical cavity has the mass. அதனுடைய மாஸ் தெரியாது. அந்த கட் பண்ணி எடுத்தது மாஸ் தெரியாது. அது எப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்றது? கால்குலேட் பண்ணாத இந்த ப்ராப்ளத்தை போடுங்க. பேசிக் தெரியுமா? how to find out the mass? யாருக்காவது ஒரு பாடியோட மாஸ் எப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்றது? If you want to calculate the mass, density into volume. Yeah, density into volume. Density is mass per volume. That means for ஒரு யூனிட் வால்யூம்க்கு இவ்வளவு மாஸ் இருந்ததுன்னா இவ்வளவு வால்யூம்க்கு எவ்வளவு கேன்சல் பண்ணா மாஸ் கிடைச்சது. இதுதான் அதுல கான்செப்ட். இப்போ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அந்த ஸ்பியருக்கு மாஸ கால்குலேட் பண்றேன். Density into what? Sphere. The sphere ஓட radius πr. அந்த கேவிட்டிய அத கட் பண்ணி எடுத்துறோம் வெளியில. அதனுடைய மாஸை தான் நம்ம கால்குலேட். நம்மளுடைய அட்டெம்ப்ட் வந்து அந்த கட் பண்ணி வெளிய எடுத்துக்க அந்த மாஸ் கால்குலேட் பண்ணணும். அதுக்கும் அதே ஃபார்முலா போடுறோம். Density same material தான். Volume is 4/3 pi. அதனுடைய ரேடியஸ் என்ன? யாராவது சொல்றீங்களா? கட் பண்ண போர்ஷனோட ரேடியஸ் r/2. ஸ்பியரோட ரேடியஸ் r, அந்த கேவிட்டியோட ரேடியஸ் வந்து என்னது? r/2. எனி டவுட் ஆஸ்க் மீ. ஏன்னா ரேடியஸ்ங்கிறது பாருங்க, இது வந்து டயாமீட்டர். வெளியில இருக்க ஸ்பியருக்கு ரேடியஸ், இதுக்கு வந்து அது டயாமீட்டர். அப்போ இந்த கேவிட்டியோட ரேடியஸ் என்ன? r/2. அப்போ r/2 whole cube. Students, listen here. It becomes 4/3 pi r cube into 1/8. 1/8. இப்ப நான் இதை என்ன பண்றேன்னா பாருங்க, இதை வந்து எம்னு போடுறேன். ஏன்னா மேல பாருங்க, m is equal to rho 4/3 pi r divided by 8. அப்போ கட் பண்ணி எடுக்கிற அந்த போர்ஷனோடைய மாஸ் என்ன? ஸ்பியரோட மாஸ்ல 1/8 டைம்ஸ் இருக்கு. 1/8 times. That is m dash is equal to m divided by 8. இப்போ இதுக்காக நான் இவ்வளவு நேரம் பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்ம சாலிட் ஸ்பியருக்கு ஃபோர்ஸை கால்குலேட் பண்ணிட்டோம். இப்ப கட் பண்ண போர்ஷனுக்கு ஃபோர்ஸை கால்குலேட். அதுக்கு நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம்னா, ஹலோ, கட் பண்ண போர்ஷனுக்கு எப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்றோம்னா, F2 I think your network, there is a network problem from your side. I can't able to see you. Students, கவனிங்க. இப்போ நான் என்ன பண்றேன்னா, அந்த கட் பண்ண போர்ஷனோட மாஸை கால்குலேட் பண்றேன். எப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்ண பாருங்க. அது சாலிட் ஸ்பியர்ல 1/8 டைம் இருக்கு. இப்போ ஃபோர்ஸ் ஆஃப் அட்ராக்ஷன் எப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்றேன்னா, டோட்டல் ஸ்பியருக்கு கால்குலேட் பண்ணிட்டு அந்த கட் பண்ண போர்ஷனுக்கு ஃபோர்ஸ் எவ்வளவுன்னு கால்குலேட் பண்ணோம்னா the new force கிடைச்சிரும். That is a concept. To find out the force between the second particle and the particle mass is கட் பண்ண போர்ஷனுடைய எடுத்துட்டு இருக்கிற ரிமைனிங் மாஸுக்கு ஃபோர்ஸ் கால்குலேட் பண்ணா என்ன பண்ணணும்னா, ஏற்கனவே இமேஜின் பண்ணிக்கோங்க, ஃபுல்லா இருக்கிற மாஸ்க்கு கால்குலேட் பண்ணலாம். தட் இஸ் தெரியும் நமக்கு, G small m divided by 4r square. இப்ப கட் பண்ண ஃபோர்ஸ் என்ன, ஒரு மாசம் நினைச்சுக்கோ. இப்ப அந்த மாசுக்கும் இந்த கட் பண்ண அந்த பார்ட்டிகிள் இருக்க ஃபோர்ஸ் என்ன, கொஞ்சம் கரெக்டா அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணாதான் புரியும். கட் பண்ண போர்ஷனுடைய மாஸ் m/8, பார்ட்டிகிள் மாஸ் ஸ்மால் m. அவங்க ரெண்டு பேத்துக்கு இருக்க டிஸ்டன்ஸ் என்ன? இங்க பாருங்க, இங்கதான் இருக்கு அந்த பார்ட்டிகிள். நான் கட் பண்ண போர்ஷனோட பார்ட்டிகிள், இதுக்கும் இருக்க டிஸ்டன்ஸ் தான் பார்க்கணும். கரெக்டா சொல்லணும். தட் இஸ் இதுல ஒரு இங்க இருக்கு, இதுல கரெக்டா சொல்லுங்க பாப்பா யாராவது. 3r divided by 2. கரெக்டா? 3r divided by 2. That means அந்த 2r ல இருந்து r/2 சப்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணுங்க. புரியுதா? இது வரைக்கும் இருக்கு 2r. See this diagram. This is 2r. You have to calculate the distance between this point and this point, A and B. R ல இருந்து இந்த r/2 சப்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணணும். 2r ல இருந்து r/2 சப்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா டோட்டல் டிஸ்டன்ஸ் கிடைச்சிடும். இப்போ இத கவனமா போடணும். ஓகேயா? The mass, particle mass, distance between the removed part, particle mass is 3r divided by 2. whole squared. நான் கொஞ்சம் டிஃபரெண்டான ப்ராப்ளம் தான் எடுத்து உங்களுக்கு சால்வ் பண்றேன். மேபி டஃபா கூட இருக்கலாம், கொஞ்சம் பொறுமையா பாருங்க. புரிஞ்சாதான் அது கரெக்டா போட முடியும். இந்த சைட்ல நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா GM ஸ்மால் m கீழே 8 கீழே கொண்டு வந்துருங்க. இந்த சைடுல என்ன இருக்கு? ஸ்கொயர் பண்ணீங்கன்னா 9r divided by 4. Again, it can be simplified as 2 times அடிச்சிடலாம். 4 into 8 times 2 times, அப்போ 18 வந்துரும். 18 r square. Now take the LCM. Seven G capital N small m divided by 7 get 2 times above 36. Okay, 36 r squared. R la remove பண்ணிட்டு denominator r squared. For students, number we have found out F2 finally as 7 capital G capital M small m 36 r square. Okay, இப்போ question க்கு வருவோம். They are asking the ratio F2 divided by F1. F2 is 7 F1 கால்குலேட் பண்ண டிவைட் பண்றதுக்கு இன்வெர்ஸ் பண்ணிடலாம். ஓகே, F1 வேல்யூ இங்க பாருங்க எவ்வளவு இருக்கு? GMM divided by 4r squared. So இன்வெர்ஸ்ல போட்டுடலாம். 4r squared divided by G capital M small m. இதை அடிச்சிடலாம். இந்த r squared அடிச்சிடலாம். அப்போ ஃபைனலா என்ன வரும்? இந்த 4 9 times வருமா? 7 by 9. 4 denominator இருக்கு 36 ஓட அடிச்சீங்கன்னா 7 by 9. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. கொஞ்சம் இது மாதிரி டிபிக்கலா தான் இருக்கும் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ். நான் கொஞ்சம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டே கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமான ப்ராப்ளத்தை நான் போட்டேன். அதனால நெக்ஸ்ட் நான் ஒவ்வொரு டாபிக்கும் ஒரு சாம்பிள் ப்ராப்ளம் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுவேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் will solve say 20 problem 30 problem continuously. For every concept, to know the concept, I will explain the sample problem. After completing the concept, we will solve all the problems. Any doubt this problem, students? Okay, shall we go to the next problem? Are you comfortable with the class? See this problem. The masses 2m, m and m are kept at the vertices of equilateral triangle as shown another mass 2m is kept at the centroid. What is the force on the mass 2m at the centroid due to the others? Take GA, GB, GC is equal to 1 meter. The diagram is given. This is an equator triangle. At the centroid, another mass is placed. The centroid will be, if you draw the line from the midpoint of the other side, the point of intersection will be a centroid. The centroid on which the mass is placed. The convention here, x and y, z. The question is, what is the force on the mass 2m at the centroid? This problem can be solved using the principle of superposition. What is the force exerted by the mass placed at A to the point G? Similarly, force exerted by the mass B towards G, force exerted by the mass C towards G. All are attractive force. Now let us take one by one. Let us calculate. Let us consider the mass placed at A. The force between A and G. The force between A and G. Apply the Newton's law of gravitational force. G constant. The mass is placed at A, 2m. And the mass placed at G is 2m. The distance between the mass A and G is 1 meter. It is given, therefore 1 square. See, the mass is exactly placed on the y-axis. Therefore, the J vector is noted. J vector noted. Okay. Now, the force exerted by the mass B on G, the force of attraction between B and G. Use the same formula. Here the mass is small m, mass placed at G, 2m. The distance between B and G is given 1 meter here also. But all of you listen. Hello. The force of attraction. Force of attraction. The force of attraction like this. Consider this one. The force of attraction, say GB. It will produce the horizontal component and vertical component. The mass placed at A only acting at the y-axis, not necessary to resolve. But in this case, the force is acting at an angle at a 30 degree with respect to the x-axis. Therefore, this force will produce a horizontal component and vertical component. Understand? Horizontal component and a vertical component. The horizontal component is acting positive side. Vertical component is acting negative side. Therefore, it can be written as positive I cos 30 minus J sin 30. Vertical side, opposite side, sin. Adjacent side, cos. Therefore, this is very important point. Why I am taking the component here? Because the force acting between G and A in y-axis, purely y-axis, no necessary to produce the component. Here between G and B, the force is acting at an angle. Therefore, it produces horizontal component, vertical component. We have to denote that horizontal component and vertical component. Understand, students?
Yes, sir.
Next, consider the mass C and G. G is universal constant, gravitational constant. The mass placed at C is M. The mass placed at G is 2m. The distance between two 1 square. See, in z-axis, the force is acting like this. With respect to G, this is outward, the outward. When you take the reference here, this is the point G. This is Z. Force is acting in this direction, GB. Now let us resolve this. This is neither parallel to x-axis nor y-axis. Therefore, it is made parallel and perpendicular to x-axis and y-axis. That is a resolution. Similarly, in the previous case, the force between G and B is neither parallel nor perpendicular to the x-axis and y-axis. Therefore, it is converted parallel and perpendicular to the x-axis. That means we are producing the x component and y component. Here also, we are producing the x component, y component. This is theta, that is 30 degree. Opposite side in our side. Adjacent side, cos. So opposite side here, this is the opposite side. The opposite side is acting downward. Here, this horizontal component is also acting in the left hand side, negative left hand side, and the downward. Both are negative. The x component is minus because it is acting left hand side. Positive, this side on the negative. Upward positive, downward on the negative. Negative quantities. I horizontal ke cos varum, vertical ke sin varum. So we have found out three forces acting about the point G. Now let us add these three values. We can find out the final answer. Add pannilama.
Yes, sir.
The force is equal to first quantity G, 2m, 2m, 2m. First one, G 4 m square. Correct?
Yes, sir.
From second one, you multiply this this quantity inward. G 2 m squared. From I cos 30 minus G 2 m squared cos 30. That is J sin 30. And then third one partner G 2 m squared minus sign, minus sign I cos 30 minus sin G 2m squared G sin 30. எல்லாத்தையும் நம்ம add பண்ணிட்டோம். Just add all the values. What is the final answer? Here, this is positive. G 2m squared I cos this one. G 2m squared I cos 30. Both are get cancelled. Understand? Two quantity will be. Therefore, next one. G 4m squared minus. This is 2 times, no? Students. 2 times. Apo 2 G 2 m squared J sin 30. Sin 30 half or 1 by 2 minus 2 G 2 m squared 1 by 2. 1 by 2 get cancelled. That is 4 G m squared. Here 2 G m squared. Therefore, finally, what is that? 2G. That's all. It is actually I missed that J vector. You put J vector always. Here also first one J vector, no J vector. இப்போ என்ன இதுல இண்டிகேஷன்னா எல்லா ஃபோர்ஸ் உடைய டோட்டல் வேல்யூம் y டைரக்ஷன்ல ஆக்ட் பண்ணுது. See the answer 2g m square. 2g m square indicates m square g indicates the resultant force of 3 masses will be acting vertically upward. Understand?
Yes.
Okay, with that we wind up today class. What about your feedback? Anything you want to say? Tambi? யாராவது ஒரு கேர்ள் ஒரு பாய் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் எத்தனை பேர் இருக்கீங்க ஆக்சுவலி?
15.
Okay, okay. Are you satisfied with the class?
Yes.
Okay, this is somewhat a tough problem. We will improve. Is there anything you want to improve? You can give your view. You will continue the concept in the next class. That means the day after tomorrow. Kindly attend, don't miss. Then only you can get the continuity. Okay? We will solve all the NEET problems one by one. Thank you for attending. Good day.